He never took off the mask.
Never took off the mask.
He's buried in it.
Oh my gosh.
He's legitimately buried
That's
in
gonna
it.
fuck up with some archaeologists thousands of years from now, give or take. He's gonna be like, who is this? Is he a god? Yes. Yes, he was. Marcos, what is your number 5?
So just to tell you guys a little bit about my list, my top 5 is broken down into like first 2 are just 2 that are really important to me personally, and then the top 3 are like, these are history lessons you should have been taught but you weren't taught, because history is most people don't give a fuck, and most people would probably fail just talking about the first 10 constitutional amendments.
Right to bear arms.
What's that?
Second one.
Okay.
First one is freedom of the press and speech.
You get a lot of freedoms from the First Amendment.
Yeah, it's really great. And then the third one is like...
So there's 10, by the way. You're not going to make it.
I'm going to make it.
You're not
Third one is don't bear false witness. 4 is...
Just stop. You're not going to make it.
Oh, but anyway, your list.
Okay. So number 5 is just... So I'm not like an average Hispanic. We went into this when we did things that you do that are white. And so what happened with this character, or what this director introduced me to, was just like, oh, this guy makes me feel seen. He's like me, kind of thing. He loves horror. And it was before this Hispanic horror renaissance really took off, where kids are having like horror themed birthday parties and stuff like that.
Of the Ayuwoki?
Yeah.
I'll show you what that looks like while he talks.
But yeah, no, this guy, like, I remember like I was watching one of his the interviews, and he was just talking about like, oh yeah, like it's a shame the thing didn't do great in the United States because we fucking loved it in Mexico. And I was like, that's my boy. That is 100% my boy, and it's Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, that's such a good one. Fuck. I knew my list was more personal, just to kind of go back to my definition, but that's so fucking good. Continue, elaborate.
So as a sidebar, I kind of hate Tim Burton.
Fair.
Hermano.
I always thought Tim Burton was like, I'm gonna be weird for the sense of being weird, and it's like
I'm so spooky. I'm Tim Burton. Creepy things.
And he has.
I'm the Imagineer that got kicked out for wanting to put blood in the rides.
Oh my God. But there's chubby, adorable Guillermo del Toro.
Exactly, and everything that he's created has so much more imagination in it. Like when you see Pan's Labyrinth and you see completely original creatures, it's the only movie I think that was ever set during the Spanish Civil War. I was like, dude, I love everything that you're doing here. Yeah, look at it. He's so jolly all the time.
Right, he's jolly, but his creatures are fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so mad that he didn't actually do Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, because I think he would have made everyone, literally shit their pants. He produced it, but, like, I was like, no, don't let him do that, because the stills made me cry from that movie. And you're talking about this? Like, this is, like, I think, like, an extra from, like, the Golden Circle or whatever, like Hellboy 3, The Golden Army or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's from Hellboy 1.
Hellboy 1, right?
Yeah.
And like, even like, just like, ugh, they're so spooky. Go ahead. I love Guillermo del Toro. I can go off on him as
no,
equally.
go for it. This whole like,
he's got like Frankensteins and shit in his house.
Right. And there's an art book that my cousin got when there was a Guillermo del Toro.
I didn't know he was making a Pinocchio movie till right now.
Oh yeah, it's equally spooky. Like there's the shitty Disney one, and then there's one with like, he's like a hooked nose and he's stupid, weird looking. But like, he had a book that my cousin went to, because there was a Guillermo del Toro art gallery, essentially, like an installation that he had. I was in LA, so he went to go see it, and they had this art book, and just his like ideas that he didn't use were so fucking terrifying. Like, it was just like a body made of veins. Like, it's like I don't like spooky things, but what I like about Guillermo del Toro is that he references a lot of his Mexican roots, like, and Mexicans' cultural understanding of death, and fear of death, and acceptance of death, to make these like really eerie creatures, because they may not always be scary, but they're unknown, and they're always like really imposing.
They have an aura about them for sure.
Right, like this is imposing. Does it look scary? Yes. Does it look like it's like, if it started talking, would you talk to it? Kind of. I'd kind of talk to this ancient goat creature, right?
Depends on the scale.
Right. But no, but like,
I'm just saying, if it was 2 stories, you run.
Maybe. At that point, it's going to catch you. Like, this thing right here looks like pretty kind, but I still don't want to fuck with it. Like, I'm not going to be its friend, but I'm not going to be fearful. Like, even like the angels and stuff and like these little dresses and the things he makes. I love Guillermo del Toro, and I don't even watch a lot of the spooky stuff that he makes, but the fact that he's just existing.
I wouldn't say a lot of the stuff that he makes is actually scary. Like, his scariest movie, I mean, it's not even a movie. It would be The Strain, actually. But the weird thing about The Strain is when you watch it, like at a certain point, it's like you're just watching Blade 2.
Okay.
It borrows. Well, he wrote both.
That's true.
But no, I have so much fun watching Guillermo del Toro movies. And then when he won that Oscar for the fish fucking movie,
The Shape of Water.
The Shape of Water.
And it's not called the fish. Guillermo del Toro presents fish fucking movie. It's not called that.
I just like to make fun of Alfred because he loves that movie.
I've never seen it. I probably will love it.
You will. But the reason he stopped, like, did a brief pause to make movies was he's like, I'm gonna go back to Mexico and open these film camps.
Right.
So it's like everything about this dude is just legit as fuck.
And last bit, when he did Pacific Rim, he directed that also, which is the greatest dumb movie or the dumbest great movie. I can't tell which one it is. The little Japanese girl, he was trying to direct her on set, but she had a hard time saying Guillermo del Toro. So she heard Del Toro and saw that he's a big and chubby guy, and she looked like my neighbor Totoro. So she was like, "Can I call you?" Or she asked if he can call him Totoro-san, and he said, "Yeah, sure." So that little girl was just calling him Totoro-san because of Guillermo del Toro. It's very cute. And
Also, he's bros with Hideo Kojima.
is he really?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's in Death Stranding.
Uh-huh. Oh shit, is he really? That's right. That's absolutely right.
He doesn't
Also,
voice himself, but
Right.
it's his image.
face.
Yeah.
Also, one last thing, you're gonna hate this.
What?
You're gonna hate this. When he won his Oscar, first thing he did, he went to an In-N-Out. There's a video of him at In-N-Out. It's like, I won.
I mean, as long as he's happy, I don't really give a fuck. But I mean, I don't know why my brain went to Patton Oswalt sadly eating a burger after his wife died, but that's a different story.
Oh my god. And then what was the name? Victor and Valentino.
Oh, Guillermo.
Yes, he also has a stand-in character. Oh my god. Guillermo. And he also has a little character that's based off of him. A very spooky kid named Guillermo. Anyway, you're number 5, top 5, number 5. Guillermo del Toro. My number 4 is actually a pretty modern introduction to the list because he's only been around for 15 years, but I realized that the impact that he had on me was so let's see here. So important because when I had access to it was Windows Media Edition. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So it was like XP, and then Media Edition had like a fucking built-in TiVo, and it got a tuner, and you could record TV on your PC desktop. So I had one in college, and I proceeded to just watch absolute all of Comedy Central Presents. And so I recorded all of them, and the one I kept going back to was my number 4, Gabriel Iglesias. Fluffy. Because I'd never seen a dude that was a chubby Mexican in front of a camera.
I think they were all chubby Mexicans.
Right, but like
Even George Lopez is a chubby Mexican.
No, he's a big-headed Mexican. There's a difference.
No, he was big when he was doing. So when you talk about him, like me and JJ, because we were watching Spanish television, we were watching Que Locos.
Right.
And Fluffy was one of them, but I was like, I don't ever remember like a skinny Hispanic comedian.
Oh, no, they were John Leguizamo. It was John Leguizamo. That's all it was, right? But yeah, you saw it because I knew as I got into knowing more about Gabriel Iglesias, Que Locos, and all the other things and stuff like that. But this was my first exposure to him. And actually, he was on All That, which he was in the later seasons with Neil Brennan. Neil Brennan was also on All That. He was a writer.
I didn't know that.
But, and also...
Did All That have a comeback in like 2008 or something?
No. He was super young.
This
and it
was
at
like
the tail
the
end.
last season.
Oh,
second to last season.
But he tells us, just as a side note that cracks me up, he tells a story about
Pablo
how...
Francisco was skinny. What are you doing watching Que Locos? I guess he's from Florida, so it was there.
Pablo Francisco also had a resurgence around this time because it was part of like the Latin comedy invasion. It was Fluffy, Carlos Mencia, Pablo Francisco, and then
I know some people were into
Freddie. I'm sorry, I needed Freddie. No, Freddie. God damn.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
don't
I
his
need to
last
remember him
name.
because he passed away, and I don't want to forget. That feels really bad. But go ahead.
Was gonna say and the one you didn't mention that everyone hates is Carlos Mencia.
I did. I brought him up.
Me no likey Mencia really brought up at that point. But no, I feel like stand-up comedy was never bigger than it was at that point.
Freddie
Probably
Soto.
because of Comedy Central just showing specials on Friday.
Right.
Because even right now with Netflix specials, I don't think it's as big as it was then, where it was like I could probably name 30 or 40 stand-up comedians in 2005.
Right.
And now it's just like everyone thinks they're a stand-up comedian.
Right. And by the way, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
So the comedian was Freddie Soto, who does a fucking amazing bit about his dad and making his son go find tools. But the picture that they use is completely wrong on Wikipedia. It's fucking Paul Rodriguez.
I thought it was Freddie Prinze Jr. Now.
Oh no, it's not Freddie Prinze Jr., but no, Freddie Soto. That is Paul Rodriguez. Internet, you fuckers. Point being, Fluffy was a part of that whole thing.
Yeah.
And Pablo Francisco. Shout out to Pablo Francisco, as they said in the chat, because I got my girl voice from him, and like it's just I can do a lot of his bits just from memory. Oh my god, what's going on? Like that whole voice, I just learned how to do it. And me and Ray actually will do those voices together. One man, one desire. Uh-oh. Don't use that word in here.
What? Oh, I can't see it.
Mencia. No, I'm not. No, we don't use the B word here. But going back to the point, this bit, I realized that this comedy special in particular, they put it on Comedy Central's YouTube channel last week. And I remember I'm almost reciting like all of it word for word. Like I was just like in here doing this whole bit about Disneyland, talking about how many clicks you can get inside of the ride and like being chubby with your friends. And I'm like, oh my God, I memorized this whole bit.
So there's 2 clicks.
2 clicks.
Yeah, and then
remember
Stand back,
that part.
kids, watch this.
3 clicks. Like, and I was just like, oh shit. The fact that I was able to recite this entire special for pretty much front to back was like, this must have been fucking important to me. And then I realized I've been following this guy's career like since the beginning. And like even this bit, like I was like, oh,
In the kitchen.
ooh, where? In the kitchen.
Oh, really?
So important to me. And then also his career trajectory where he was the first person to sell out a fucking baseball stadium for a comedy show. Like Bill Burr did Wrigley Field, which that's Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Key was actually at that show.
No. I thought he was at the Boston show.
Yeah, well, but that was a baseball stadium. But
Yeah,
no,
but
Bill Burr.
But you said Wrigley, Chicago.
Which one is the one he went to then?
I mean, he'll probably come up.
Keith,
I'll chat.
tell us what concert you went to. Let's see, Bill Burr, baseball.
Big Green.
I don't. I wish I knew more about it. Fenway.
So he was in Fenway Park. Key was at that one, but Fluffy was the first person to sell out a baseball stadium. It was Dodger Stadium. And like he's had like toys and Funko Pops. Like his marketing is just fucking amazing. So he's probably the #1 Mexican or Latino, whatever you want to call him, comedian out there. And like, look at that, man. For a fucking kid from the Central Valley, he's from Bakersfield, which we have beef with Bakersfield, but it's like that's
I thought
fucking.
It was from El Paso for some reason.
Oh no, he's Californian.
No, I just thought it was like because he does so many specials in El Paso. I'm like, what reason does he have to go there?
Chico's Tacos. He made a joke about it, Chico's Tacos, but no, like that's fucking incredible.
Oh yeah, 100%. He surpassed George Lopez.
Yeah, for sure. But like, he's got fucking multiple Funko Pops. He's got like 7 Funko Pops.
I mean, he has a Netflix show.
He's got a Netflix show. He's got several. I'm going along. #4, Gabriel Iglesias, fucking awesome. Margos, you're #3.
So I'm just gonna throw out this random dude out there. Didn't do a lot. His name is Galavino, but he's a fucking badass in history. So he's pretty cool. Basically,
Galvarino, you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
So this dude was a Incan soldier, I believe. He got his Mapuche. He had his arms chopped off for revolting against the Spanish, and he's like, "That's cool. I'm just gonna glue knives to them." Well, like,
Wait, what?
yeah, he has knives for hands.
Oh my God, that's what I'm looking at. His hands are not there.
Yes.
What the fuck? How do you know about this? Where did you hear about this?
I'm a history nerd. So this dude had knives glued to his hand, or tied to his hands, and just was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just keep coming at them." So he just kept fighting the Spanish, and he was just feared for that kind of shit.
So here, the Battle of Lagunitas against Governor Garcia Hurtado de Mendoza. As punishment for insurrection, some of these prisoners were condemned to amputation of their right hand and nose, while others, such as Galvarino, had both hands cut off. Galvarino and the rest were then released as a lesson and warning to the rest of the Mapuche. Mendoza sent him to inform the General Caupolicán of the number of quality of people who had entered the land again, to put some fear into him along other means that he tried, so that he might submit without coming to blows. Well, in returning to the Mapuche, he appeared before Caupolicán and the Council of War, showing them his mutilations, crying out for justice and greater rising of the Mapuche against the Spanish invader, like the one of Lautaro. For his bravery and gallantry, he has named the council to command a squadron with knives fastened to both mutilated wrists. Replacing his hands, he fought next to Caupolicán in the following campaign until the Battle of Miarquepe. I don't know, that's hard to say. When his squadron fought against that of Governor Mendoza himself, where he was able to strike down the number 2 in command with knife hands. Real Wolverine.
Pretty much, yeah.
There's not 3, but still, just, like imagine wanting revenge, and why is that not a movie?
Because it'd
be like 3
it
scenes.
ends really
it's fine.
bad.
Oh no, what happened?
He gets fed to dogs.
That's fine. That's called a enticing ending.
I mean, it's not enticing because they don't win. At the end, the Spanish were just like, "Wee."
Hey, what's his name? Didn't win. Braveheart didn't win. He got his balls chopped off.
Scotland becomes an independent country at some point because of what he did.
He killed some dudes with knife hands.
Mel Gibson ignored a lot of the history.
We can ignore a lot of it too.
Oh, he's gonna win.
Yeah. And he feeds
So
the
we're
other
doing
guy
it Tarantino style.
Exactly. However, Mendoza's command broke
Suck on this, you sauerkrauts.
Mendoza's command broke Galvarino's division after over an hour of combat and won the battle, killing 3,000 Mapuche and captured more than 800, including him. Mendoza ordered him to be executed by being thrown to the dogs. Damn.
Yeah, it's not a good ending.
I mean, this is a good story. He killed a bunch of dudes with knife hands. Can't say I've done that.
I don't think I've ever killed anyone with a knife.
Galvarino versus a bear. Who wins?
Probably the bear, but
Where's the Mapuche tribe?
I thought they were Incan.
Where is this?
That's Central America.
Yeah. Why is this the first time I'm hearing about these things? I want to hear about knife hands and soldiers.
I mean, there's all sorts of things in history that just kind of like not get talked about.
Go ahead, JJ.
All right, so my number 2 is someone who's very near and dear to my heart. An entertainer, athlete,
Yep, I know where you're going. And
all-around great guy.
And this was the one that if you weren't here, it would have not made any of it. It didn't make his list, didn't make my list when we checked.
Rodolfo Guzmán Huerta,
Oh.
a.k.a. El Santo.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere else with this one.
Look at that, Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero was actually who I almost switched my number 3 for, but I forgot.
Eddie Guerrero would have made my list, but then I remember Eddie Guerrero was quoted. You could go to WWE.com and find the quote right there. That
Okay.
El Santo was bigger than Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan put together. Without El Santo, Lucha Libre doesn't get legitimized.
Oh, he's in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Yeah, he was inducted in 2018.
Oh, that's crazy.
To be fair, Drew Carey's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
He's not in the same wing.
Yeah.
Right? They're all divided into different wings.
Right.
He's in the Legacy edition. But yeah, there's the quote from Eddie down there.
El Santo is perhaps the most famous grappler in the history of Lucha Libre. WWE Hall of Fame Eddie Guerrero once wrote that calling him a legend doesn't even do justice to how big he was. In his heyday, Santo was bigger than Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin combined. Yeah, man. And just, I mean, when you have movies where you're just
50
yourself.
movies.
Huh?
50 movies.
When you have 50 movies?
There's an entire genre that was basically almost created by him. There's a genre of cinema that's, legitimized and exclusive to Mexico, pretty much. Lucha Libre cinema.
And he wears turtlenecks, sweet turtlenecks.
And he never took off the mask.
Never took off the mask.
He's buried in it.
Oh my gosh.
He's legitimately buried
That's
in
going to
it.
fuck up with some archaeologists thousands of years from now, give or take. Or he's going to be like, who is this? Is he a god? Yes. Yes, he was.
Fun
I'm pretty
fact,
sure his coffin is like gold or something, probably.
No kidding.
he also was friends with people in the Mexican consulate.
Uh-huh.
So when he got his passport, he had to get it under his real name.
Right.
But he was like, hey man, can we take one with the mask and as El Santo? And they're like, yeah, fuck it.
Why not?
So he had 2 passports. They were both like real passports, but one of them was of him with the mask so that he would never take it off.
I mean, there's him when he's older.
Yeah, that was like 3 days before he died.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah. So he came out on that talk show. I forget the name of it. It's like
let's see here.
Contrapunto, I think.
Yes, yeah, he died a week after the airing of this program. They didn't
Yeah.
say what show.
But yeah, he was giving an
Contrapunto,
interview.
you were right.
Okay, yeah. So he was giving an interview, and you could, I think rumor is that he knew his time was coming up.
Yeah.
So before he went out, he wanted to show his face to everyone so that everyone would know who was under the mask.
Imagine, like, not knowing who he was, like, just not being a guy, like, being this character for your entire fucking adult life.
So going back to the passport thing, right?
Uh-huh.
So he had that fake passport with the mask on, but he still took it to a level where he would not take off the mask in public no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So when they would reject, the one with the mask on, and they'd be like, no, we need to see your actual passport. He'd be like, okay, I'll wait until everyone else leaves. Or if you can accommodate me, I'll go into a private room, just you and another guard, and I'll take off the mask in front of you. But that's it. And if they wouldn't accommodate him with that, he'd be like, okay, I'll wait until everyone else leaves.
Jesus
and he'd
Christ.
just wait.
I mean, that's a dedication to a bit, if you anything. But like, I mean, why I wonder why nobody's ever tried to make movies like this.
They still do?
No, I meant like American side.
Oh. I think it's kind of a cultural thing.
We're talking about John Cena made 12 rounds.
Hulk Hogan was frozen. He froze Christopher Lloyd. Oh my God. He was in Suburban Commando.
No, but like this is a ridiculous image.
They're
right now.
superhero movies.
I know.
They're barely
yeah.
catching on now. Like the thing is, America had like this big mythos with Spider-Man, Superman, all these larger than life characters. Mexico had them too, but they were in the ring.
Right. That's kind of better because it's like they're actual dudes.
Right. And that's why wrestling's awesome.
Like, and I like how the high pants. I've always liked the high pants. It's like pants up to here, sunken rib cages, broad ass shoulders. We're gonna go fucking fight some people. Is there like video of him fighting? I wonder.
A wrestling?
Like of actual wrestling.
I know that for sure there's video of Triple H being like, "Hey, bro, you're going in the Hall of Fame."
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's the only clip that I've actually
There we go.
seen of him.
Damn, that's a big ass. I mean, I bet he's like 5'7", but like he's a big ass dude.
So there was a Stranger Things like tie-in where he wrestled the Demigorgon.
Wait, what?
I think it's a comic or something.
No.
What?
It's on YouTube. It was like a video.
Oh.
It was a short that they did to promote Stranger Things.
The first season? Like what season?
This recent season. Santo shows no fear. His muscles are the best.
He's legit fighting the Demogorgon.
Make you humble.
Jesus Christ.
Put him in the camouflage.
What the fuck is happening? What year was 22? This was like just came out.
Yeah, this was to promote this recent season of Stranger Things.
What? Why, like,
And let me tell you something, it fucking worked. I binged the shit out of that season.
that just renders the whole fucking show worthless. If he just fought him in the ring, it took him 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Look, it took you gotta remember, the kids in Stranger Things are just children. Sure, one of them has superpowers, but they're nothing compared to El Santo.
Who can defeat literal monsters?
He bitch slapped Frankenstein. That's canon.
Is that a part of the movie?
Yes.
God.
He fought Frankenstein and vampire chicks.
Bro,